Washington mornings on the Mall. 105.9 FM. And AM 630. WMAL.
8:37 on WMAL, where Washington comes to talk. It's Brian Wilson, joined by Larry O'Connor from Breitbart TV today. Pleased to be joined on the phone now by Byron York, the chief political correspondent for the Washington Examiner. I almost called you senior chief. It's all good, right?
Senior chief. Good morning.
Yeah, you're the senior national chief political correspondent. Listen, I would like to think that we were going to spend the day having a serious discussions about the issues. They were going to talk about Benghazi, or we're going to talk about solving the debt and deficit. But just between you and me and everybody listening, I get the sense that today is going to be about an October surprise. I mean, you got Trump out there with something, you got Gloria Allred fishing around for something, stuff happening in Boston today. What do you think about all this?
Well, I mean, you always see that stuff. We're within 2 weeks. What can you say? It's less than 2 weeks till Election Day. This is kind of stuff you see. As far as this Allred stuff, there is word that it may have something to do with the divorce proceedings of a guy who worked for Romney at Staples. And he divorces his wife, and Romney testifies in the divorce, and the testimony is, Romney's testimony is completely about how much some of the Staples stock that the guy has is worth. And it just seems completely unremarkable. Yes, it's a divorce trial, but it's not Mitt Romney's. I think we know that. And his role in it is to the extent of talking about the value of certain stock. So, it's, who knows? Maybe there's more to it than that, but if somebody tries to blow that up into something, it seems difficult to do.
Well, Byron, you're in Ohio, which is sort of ground zero for this entire campaign, it looks like. And, last night we had the revelation that emails showed that the White House was informed that the Benghazi attack was a terrorist attack. Well, within 2 hours they knew that it was, they even knew the terrorist group that claimed responsibility for it. Now, is a story like that resonating with the undecideds in Ohio, or is this potential Gloria Allred, Donald Trump thing resonating?
I think the race is still about what the race is about. I think it's still about jobs in the economy. I mean, we've had all of this noise, but I really think that as far as the fundamental issues are concerned, it's still about are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is progress being made? Are things going to get better in the next 4 years? And we just saw a new Rasmussen poll out today, I believe, that has Ohio dead even, 48-48. Look at Real Clear Politics average of polls.
Yeah, I just looked at it, right.
Still shows Obama up a little bit. But, I mean, both sides are acting here in Ohio like this is a absolutely dead-even campaign.
All right, so, what's your sense? I mean, when you get on the ground in a place like that, you get a sense of who's got the mo. And you're an experienced hand. You know what it is to cover politics on that kind of level. What is your gut-level feeling about what's happening on the ground in Ohio right now?
I think there's two kinds of momentum, which is interesting. I watched the debate on Monday night with a group of Republicans in Hamilton County, which is in Cincinnati. And there was a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of confidence. Their confidence just shot up after the first debate. They were kind of down before that when all the polls were looking bad. But I went to Obama's big rally, about 9,500 people in Dayton yesterday. And, I don't get the sense of that sky-high enthusiasm, but I get a sense of them just grinding it out. Go to a rally, ask people if they've already voted. So many of them have already voted. These are Obama supporters. Or they plan to vote before Election Day. Rasmussen has Obama ahead with people who've already voted. I listened to a conference call yesterday with David Axelrod, Jim Messina, the top two guys in the president's campaign, totally focused on early voting here and grinding out a victory. So it's two different kind of things. I see more sort of excitement amongst Republicans, but I see kind of a sense of grinding out a victory among Democrats.
Do both sides have comparable ground games?
Well, that's the big question. In 2004, we thought things were kind of comparable, and it turns out Karl Rove found about 100,000 evangelical voters in Ohio who'd just really never gone to the polls before and voted for George W. Bush. So that's always a little bit of a mystery, but both sides have very strong operations here, no doubt about it.
Also, I think that everyone needs to point out, Byron, that you said that you watched the debate in Ohio. Now, I saw you in Denver for the first debate. I saw you in New York for the second debate. Finally, there's a debate in Boca where you could actually go out and lay by the pool, get a tan, and they send you to Ohio. What did you do wrong? Why are they so mad at you at the Examiner?
Don't forget, I also went to Danville for the vice presidential debate.
That's right.
I just thought this was time to see one outside of the debate bubble, and it was extremely interesting because when you go to the debates, as you all know, in the debate hall itself, the moderator warns the crowd, you must not utter a word. You must not even breathe. Turn off your cell phone. Don't say anything to your neighbor, and don't even think about uttering a single noise. And in the press room, of course, they're all just tapping on their laptops. Well, I went to a place where you had a bunch of partisans, and they could boo, they could cheer, they could yell out
holler, right.
fact checks. And I came away with the feeling that, it wouldn't be a bad idea if you let audiences be involved in a debate. It'd be much more natural.
Like a wrestling match.
Kind of like a wrestling match. You'd have partisans on both sides. Remember, back in the primaries, Newt Gingrich called for, I'm going to challenge the president to 7 Lincoln-Douglas-style debates. Well, those debates were long. They were free-form. They were without a moderator, and the crowd got pretty rowdy at times. And I don't know. Sometimes, I think that sounds better than the very kind of stilted town hall forum that we saw in the second presidential debate.
Hey, Byron, of course, I follow your Twitter, and everybody should follow you on Twitter, Byron York. And you tweeted out about this Bin Laden film and how apparently there were some scenes in there that cast. Who would know? Who would have guessed that Hollywood would write a movie about the killing of Osama bin Laden and the villain is not Osama bin Laden but Mitt Romney? What do you think of this story?
Well, this is amazing. It's actually coming out from the New York Times this morning, the story, and that we knew for a long time that the Harvey Weinstein Company was going to, very big movie organization was going to bring out this Killing Bin Laden movie a couple of days before the election. I guess the polls must have them worried because the Times reports the movie has been recut to emphasize President Obama's role, to make him specifically more of the hero in this. And, of course, it's coming out 2 days before the election. So I think this in-kind contribution just went from a few $1 million to $1 zillion.
All right, I got to leave it right there. Thank you very much, Byron York from the Washington Examiner. Good to have you.
Thank you, guys.
844.